just gonna do a video for some reason on like my interpretations of what cancer itself is. So obviously if you've been watching my videos, you probably know by now that I'm a Cancer, and that like I'm born on the middle day of the year, or whatever, Princess Diana's birthday or whatever. But I feel like I'm kind of like a channel for water to kind of like pass through and kind of describe things, and that sometimes gets distracted by other things carrying water, because it's probably carrying other little bits of myself, and because everything is kind of myself anyways. But anyways, so Cancer started around the same times where they started building water systems in Egypt. And once they started building water systems in Egypt, they started to contaminate their water, and it got mixed up. The nasty water started to get in with other water. And around the same time that all happened, the first traces of cancer were seen as tumors on the spine. And so they were able to remove them for quite a while, until around like Hippocrates or Hypocrite's time era, where when he saw these, he was like, huh, they look like crabs. I'm going to name them after the Cancerian sign Cancer. So with him being as much of a hypocrite as he was, he then named the tumor after the leading water sign Cancer. Whether or not, he knew that water was creating the tumors was kind of subjective in itself, because at the time they couldn't really prove or disprove any of that, or whatever, by the way that modern science goes now. And so, kind of how I see cancer is it's a thing that is created by the human, not so much the human psyche, because everything is cancer, but it is something created by water to prevent itself inside a system from living or expanding past its point of validity, so that way it can pass, not in a harmful way, because cancer is kind of painless, and cancer, it does make people suffer, but if anything, all the radiation makes people suffer more. And that's one thing that a lot of people don't really realize, which, then you take into consideration radiation. Oh, you're putting radiation in water inside like the circuit of like a human body. So like obviously if you're going to be putting radiation into a circuitry of a body, it's going to have something to do with water and separating water and trying to re-establish the networking between the water cells, which in a lot of cases they don't like to communicate even after the fact. When they get cancer, they don't like to fix their own problems, and they don't like to fix their old issues. So then they usually develop cancer, even though there are lots of sweethearts that do develop cancer for no reason, which I cannot completely figure out. But this is just one example of like how I view something. It's not necessarily how I view it all around. It's just how I view it at like this little second time and space, per se. And yeah, that's about it, I guess. I mean, I could continue to talk, but there's no real reason why. So I'm gonna end this. But also I wanted to add that like I've been becoming kind of weary about computers and stuff, because, like, it's almost like I feel like when I'm taking something digitally, I'm putting it on, like, a mainframe, which is putting it through, like, zeros and ones to, like, view itself to me, which in itself can be, like, creating, like, my future life, or, this life already, like, 10 years from now. And there's nothing much I can do about it, but, I mean, honestly, at this point, I don't really care about anything. So, it's just nice to be honest about that, at least. And, yeah. Maybe I'll do one about how I think the moon is like the sun or Earth or whatever, but maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Alright. Bye.